In the year 2301, Earth had transformed into a vibrant tapestry of cultures, bustling with humans and various alien species. Among the towering skyscrapers and busy streets, Alex, a kind-hearted and somewhat introverted human, often felt like a background character in the grand play of life. He worked as a cultural liaison, a job that allowed him to learn about the diverse traditions of the universe. Yet he often felt disconnected from the excitement that surrounded him. Little did he know that everything was about to change. One sunny afternoon, Alex attended an interspecies event designed to promote friendship and understanding among different worlds. The room buzzed with chatter and laughter, a mix of voices and languages that filled the air with energy. It was an occasion meant to celebrate unity, but Alex felt a wave of anxiety wash over him. Surrounded by so many people, he felt small and unsure of himself. Just as he contemplated slipping away to the safety of solitude, a hush fell over the crowd. Everyone turned to the entrance, where a figure stood illuminated by the soft light. Zira, an alien woman from the distant planet Thalaxia, had arrived. Her shimmering skin sparkled like stars in the night sky, and her striking features were unlike anything Alex had ever seen. Zira's wide, curious eyes scanned the room, filled with wonder and a hint of trepidation. The moment felt electric, as if the very air between them crackled with unspoken possibilities. As she stepped further into the room, Alex couldn't help but feel drawn to her. He noticed how she hesitated, unsure of how to interact with the throng of humans surrounding her. While others approached her with eager greetings, Alex saw the flicker of discomfort in her eyes. Without thinking, he made his way through the crowd, his heart racing. He wanted to help her, to make her feel welcome in this strange place. "Hi, I'm Alex," he said softly, offering her a warm smile. "Are you okay?" Zira turned her gaze to him, and for a moment the noise of the crowd faded away. "I'm Zira," she replied, her voice melodic yet uncertain. "It's overwhelming here, so many people." "I understand," Alex said, feeling an unexpected connection. "It can be a bit much. Would you like to get some fresh air?" Zira nodded, relief washing over her face. Together, they stepped outside, where the sun bathed the world in golden light. With each passing moment, they began to talk, sharing stories of their homes and dreams. Alex learned that Zira's people had a deep connection to nature, living in harmony with their environment. In return, he shared tales of Earth's bustling cities, its rich history, and the beauty of human creativity as they talked. Laughter flowed easily between them. Alex found himself captivated by Zira's unique perspective, her curiosity igniting something within him that he hadn't felt in a long time. He admired her courage to explore a world so different from her own, and she appreciated his kindness in guiding her through the chaos. But as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow across the sky, Alex felt a pang of uncertainty. Their worlds were so different. Could a human and an alien truly connect? Zero seemed to sense his hesitation. "Thank you for being so kind to me, Alex. I feel safe with you." Her words struck a chord in Alex's heart. In that moment, he realized that this was just the beginning of something special. He could not deny the spark between them, a connection that went beyond words and cultures. As they stood under the fading light, Alex made a silent promise to himself. He would do everything he could to help Zira feel at home on Earth, no matter the challenges they might face. With a heartfelt smile, Alex replied, "I'll always be here for you, Zira. Together we can navigate this world." Little did they know, their journey was only just beginning, and the adventures that awaited them would test their bond in ways they could never have imagined. Over the next few weeks, Alex and Zira spent every possible moment together, forging a connection that was both exhilarating and profound. Their days were filled with laughter, exploration, and the shared challenge of understanding each other's worlds. At first, their friendship was built on simple gestures and smiles, but as they grew more comfortable, it blossomed into something deeper and more meaningful. One sunny afternoon, Alex decided to take Zira to the botanical gardens, a peaceful, sanctuary filled with vibrant colors and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. He hoped this serene environment would help her feel more at ease with human customs. As they strolled through the lush greenery, Zira's eyes sparkled with wonder. She reached out to touch the petals of a bright red rose, her fingers brushing gently against the soft surface. "It's beautiful," she exclaimed, her voice filled with awe. "On Thalaxia, we have flowers, but they are very different. Glow in the dark and sing softly at night." Alex smiled, enchanted by her description. "I would love to see that one day," he replied, imagining a world where flowers sang under the stars. "But for now, let's enjoy what we have here." He pointed to a nearby tree, its branches heavy with ripe fruits. "Apples. Would you like to try one?" Zira looked at the fruit curiously, her head tilting slightly. "What is it like?" "It's sweet and crunchy," Alex explained, taking a bite of his own apple.
Ow!
He handed her a shiny red apple, and with a hesitant smile, Zira took a bite. Her eyes widened in surprise as the flavor exploded in her mouth. "It's delicious," she exclaimed, laughter spilling from her lips as they continued their tour. Their conversations grew deeper. Alex shared stories about human traditions, holidays, and art, while Zira spoke of her people's connection to the universe, their ability to communicate through thoughts and emotions. Despite their differences, they found common ground in their shared experiences, hopes, dreams, and the desire for companionship. But not everything was easy. One evening, while sitting on a park bench, Zira looked troubled. "Alex," she began, her voice quiet, "I've been thinking about my family. They may not understand my friendship with you. They're traditional and believe in keeping our kind separate from others." Alex felt a pang of sadness. "Is that why you seem distant sometimes?" he asked gently. "I want to support you, but I also want to be close to you." Zira nodded, her expression pained. "I care about you, but I fear their judgment. They may see me as weak for forming a bond with a human. It's hard to choose between what I want and what my family expects." Alex took her hand, feeling the warmth of her skin against his. "You are not weak, Zira. You are brave for exploring a new world and for being open to something different. Love and friendship know no boundaries, and I believe that your family will eventually see that." Zira looked into Alex's eyes, searching for reassurance. "Do you really think so?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I know so," he replied confidently. "Let's show them that our bond is strong and beautiful. Together, we can bridge the gap between our worlds." Encouraged by his words, Zira smiled, a glimmer of hope lighting up her face. "Thank you, Alex. You make me feel safe and understood." In that moment, they both realized that their connection was not just about friendship, but a journey toward love and acceptance. As days turned into weeks, they continued to explore each other's cultures. Alex introduced Zira to Earth's music, taking her to concerts where they danced under the stars, sharing the rhythm of their hearts. In return, Zira taught Alex the ways of her people, helping him to understand the beauty of their telepathic communication through shared emotions and thoughts. Their bond deepened with each passing day. They laughed together, cried together, and grew stronger together, proving that love could bridge even the widest of gaps. Yet, underlying their joy was the knowledge that challenges lay ahead. Zira's family would not easily accept the friendship she had formed with a human. But together, Alex and Zira were determined to face whatever obstacles came their way. Their journey was just beginning, and they were ready to embrace it, hand in hand, heart to heart. As Alex and Zira continued their journey together, they discovered that love was not just about shared laughter and adventures, it was also about understanding and overcoming challenges.
Ow.
Despite the joy they found in each other's company, the differences between their worlds occasionally created barriers that were hard to break down. One afternoon, while sitting in a cozy cafe, Zira gazed at the menu, her brow furrowed in confusion. "What is a latte?" she asked, her voice tinged with curiosity. Alex chuckled, excited to share a part of his world with her. "It's a coffee drink made with espresso and steamed milk. It's creamy and delicious. Would you like to try one? Zero nodded, eager to experience yet another human delight. But when the barista handed her the drink, she hesitated, unsure how to approach it. Do I drink it with a straw? She wondered aloud, tilting her head in confusion. A few nearby customers glanced over, their expressions a mix of curiosity and amusement. No, no, Alex said gently, smiling at her innocence. You drink it from the cup? Just take a sip. Ah! Zira, uncertain yet willing, brought the cup to her lips. As the warm liquid touched her tongue, her eyes widened in surprise. It's wonderful, she exclaimed, laughter bubbling up. But as they enjoyed their drinks, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was troubling Zero. He noticed how her smile faded at times, replaced by a look of concern. What's on your mind? He asked softly, his heart aching at the thought of her distress. Zero sighed, her luminous eyes reflecting her inner turmoil. Sometimes I feel lost in this world. I want to understand everything, your customs, your language, but it's overwhelming. I fear I'm not fitting in. Alex took her hand, squeezing it gently. It's okay to feel that way. We're in a completely new environment, and it's natural to feel out of place. But remember, I'm here for you. Zira looked at him, her expression softening. Thank you, Alex. You make it easier, but I still struggle. The way humans communicate is so different. You use so many expressions and gestures that I don't understand. I know it can be confusing, Alex acknowledged, but we can work on it together. Let's practice, he suggested. They spent hours that evening playing games that involved expressions and body language, laughing at their mistakes and celebrating their progress. Zira's confidence began to grow as she learned to interpret Alex's subtle cues and humor. However, the challenges didn't end there. One night while watching a movie, Zira became confused by the emotional scenes. Why are they crying? This is a happy moment, she asked, furrowing her brow. Alex paused the film, realizing that cultural contexts shaped their understanding of emotions differently. It's complicated, he explained. Humans often feel joy and sadness at the same time. Sometimes we cry when we're happy because it's overwhelming. It's part of being human. He watched as Zira processed his words, her eyes thoughtful. I wish I could understand your emotions better, she admitted, a hint of sadness in her voice. I want to connect with you. On that level? Alex smiled reassuringly. You're already connecting with me in so many ways. Just give it time. We can explore these emotions together. He suggested that they share stories from their pasts, opening up about their lives, hopes, and fears, as they exchanged their stories. Zira learned about Alex's childhood, his dreams of travel, and the loss of his father. In turn, she shared the story of her own upbringing on Thalaxia, her family's traditions, and the bond she had with her people. With each revelation, they peeled back the layers of their hearts, revealing vulnerabilities that brought them closer together. Yet, even with their growing connection, Zira still felt the weight of her family's expectations looming over her. One evening, as they watched the sunset together, she confessed, I worry about what my family will think if they discover our friendship. They may not accept me for choosing a human. Alex's heart sank at her words. You shouldn't have. To choose Zira. Love is about acceptance, and I believe your family will see how special this is. He placed his arm around her, drawing her close as the sun dipped below the horizon. In that moment, Zira felt a flicker of hope amidst her fears. She realized that with Alex by her side, she could face whatever challenges awaited them. Their journey was filled with ups and downs, but together, they were learning to bridge the distance between their worlds. And no matter how difficult it became, their bond grew stronger, rooted in understanding, patience, and the courage to love against all odds. As the days turned into weeks, Alex and Zira found themselves growing closer despite the challenges they faced. Their friendship had blossomed into a beautiful partnership, filled with laughter, learning, and the thrill of discovery. However, they both knew that, to truly understand one another, they needed to experience each other's worlds more fully. With that thought in mind, Alex decided to take Zira on a grand adventure, one that would lead them far beyond the familiar streets of Earth. One sunny morning, Alex surprised Zira with an invitation to visit a nearby nature reserve. "It's a place where we can escape the city and enjoy the beauty of Earth's wilderness," he said with excitement. Zira's eyes lit up at the thought of exploring new landscapes. "I would love that. I have heard so much about Earth's nature," she replied, her voice filled with enthusiasm. They packed a picnic, including some of Zira's favorite foods, fruits, and snacks that Alex had introduced her to, and set off on their adventure. As they drove through the countryside, Zira marveled at the rolling hills, the vibrant colors of the trees, and the vast blue sky above. "It's so different from Thalaxia," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "The colors here are so vivid." Once they arrived at the reserve, Alex led Zira down a winding path that opened into a breathtaking meadow. Wildflowers danced in the gentle breeze, and the sound of birds singing filled the air. Zira gasped, taking in the beauty around her. "This is incredible," she exclaimed, spinning in circles, her laughter echoing through the meadow. As they settled on a grassy patch, Alex spread out the picnic blanket and began to unpack their food. Zira watched intently, curious about every item he pulled out. "What is this?" she asked, pointing to a sandwich. "It looks fascinating," Alex chuckled. "That's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, one of my favorites." He took a bite and encouraged Zira to try it. She hesitated for a moment, then took a bite, her eyes lighting up as the flavors burst in her mouth. "It's sweet and nutty. I love it," she said, her smile radiant. After their picnic, they decided to explore further into the reserve. As they walked, Alex pointed out various plants and animals, sharing interesting facts about each one. Zira listened intently, her excitement growing with each new discovery. "Your planet is full of wonders," she said, her eyes sparkling. "I never imagined Earth could be so alive." As they ventured deeper into the woods, they stumbled upon a serene lake surrounded by tall trees. The water shimmered under the sunlight, inviting them to come closer. "Let's go for a swim," Alex suggested, his enthusiasm contagious. Zira hesitated. "Swim? In the water?" she asked, uncertain. "Yes, it's refreshing and fun," he assured her. With a playful grin, he ran toward the water, jumping in with a splash. Zira watched, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. After a moment, she took a deep breath and followed him in, the cool water enveloping her body. "See? It's wonderful." Alex laughed, swimming around. Zira couldn't help but join in on the laughter, her initial fears melting away as she splashed Alex playfully. They floated on the surface, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the soothing sounds of nature surrounding them. As they lay on the shore afterward, drying off in the sun, Zira turned to Alex, her expression serious. "Thank you for showing me this side of Earth. It's beautiful. But I realize I still have so much to learn about your world." Alex nodded, sensing the weight of her words. And I want to learn about yours too. We can explore together," he replied, determination in his voice. "No matter how different we are, we can share our experiences and grow together." Just then, they heard the sound of rustling in the bushes nearby. Suddenly, a group of children appeared, laughing and playing, their energy infectious. Zira's eyes widened with curiosity as she watched them. "What are they doing?" she asked. "They're playing a game called tag," Alex explained. "It's a fun way for kids to bond and make friends." The children noticed Zira and waved excitedly, inviting her to join. With Alex's encouragement, Zira hesitantly stepped forward, joining in on the game. As she ran and played with the children, Alex watched with joy. Zira's laughter rang out, filling the air with happiness. In that moment, he realized how far they had come. They were no longer just two individuals from different worlds. They were companions, sharing experiences and creating memories together as the sun began to set. Casting a warm golden glow over the lake, Alex and Zira sat side by side, watching the sky transform into a canvas of colors. "Today was magical," Zira said softly, her voice filled with emotion. "I feel closer to you and to this world." Alex smiled, his heart swelling with affection. "And I feel closer to you too. This adventure was just the beginning. Together, we can explore so much more." As they sat together, side by side, they knew that no matter the challenges they faced, their journey would always be filled with wonder, love, and the strength of their bond. As summer turned to fall, Alex and Zira's bond grew stronger, yet an underlying tension lingered. The time had come for Zira to meet Alex's friends and family, an important step in their relationship. While Alex was excited, Zira felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. She knew that revealing her friendship with a human would be a significant moment, especially considering the traditional views of her own people. One Saturday afternoon, at his home, where he planned to introduce her to his closest friends, "Don't worry," he reassured her as they prepared. "They're going to love you." Zira smiled, but couldn't shake the unease in her heart. She had heard stories about humans and their families, and she wondered how they would react to her presence. As they arrived at Alex's house, the warmth of laughter and music greeted them. His friends were already mingling, enjoying snacks and chatting. Alex took Zira's hand, giving it a reassuring squeeze as they stepped inside. "Everyone, this is Zira," he announced, his voice filled with pride. The room fell silent for a moment as people turned to look at her. Zira felt a rush of nervousness, her heart pounding in her chest. She smiled brightly, trying to appear confident. "Hello? It's nice to meet you all," she said, her voice steady despite her racing thoughts. Alex's friends responded with polite smiles, but Zira could sense their curiosity and hesitation. Some exchanged glances, while others whispered to each other. At that moment, Zira felt a twinge of doubt. Would they accept her? Would they judge her for being different? As the evening progressed, Alex and Zira joined a group playing games. Zira tried her best to engage, but she could feel the walls rising between her and Alex's friends. They asked her questions about her home, but their curiosity sometimes crossed the line into insensitivity. "Do you really have telepathy?" one friend asked, half joking. "Can you read our minds?" Zira forced a laugh, but deep down she felt hurt. "Not exactly," she replied, trying to explain her culture in a way that made sense to them. She spoke about her people's ability to connect through emotions. But the more she talked, the more she could see confusion on their faces. Feeling the tension, Alex stepped in. "Zira's abilities are unique and beautiful. They help her understand the world in a way that's different from ours," he said passionately. But instead of easing the situation, his words seemed to create more questions and skepticism among his friends. Later that evening, as the group settled down to eat, Zira sat quietly, feeling increasingly isolated. She watched as Alex laughed and joked with his friends, and a pang of longing filled her heart. She wanted to be part of this world, to share in the joy and laughter, but she felt like an outsider. After dinner, Alex noticed her silence. "Are you okay?" he asked softly, concern etched on his face. Zira looked up at him, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I don't think they understand me, Alex. I feel like I'm not fitting in," she admitted, her voice trembling. Alex's heart sank. "I'm sorry, Zira. I thought they would be more open-minded." He reached for her hand, holding it tightly. "You're incredible, and I want them to see that. But maybe we need to give them time to understand who you are." Nodded, wiping her eyes. "I want to show them my world, but I'm afraid they will only see me as an alien, not as a person." Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her words. "Let's invite them to learn about Thalaxia. We can share your culture, your stories. It's a way for them to see you beyond just your appearance." Zira smiled faintly, comforted by his support. "That could work. If they can see the beauty of my home, maybe they will understand me better." With newfound determination, they decided to host a gathering where Zira could showcase her culture. They would prepare traditional Thalaxian foods, share stories, and even demonstrate some of her people's unique abilities as the days passed. They planned every detail, excited yet anxious about the upcoming event. Zira felt a mix of hope and fear, wondering if this would be the moment that changed everything. Finally, the day arrived. Alex's friends gathered once again, this time with a sense of curiosity and eagerness. Zira welcomed them with a warm smile, her heart racing as she prepared to share her world. As she began to speak, weaving tales of her home and the wonders of Thalaxia, she felt the atmosphere shift. Slowly, the skepticism melted away, replaced by genuine interest and admiration. Zira saw the spark of understanding in their eyes, and for the first time, she felt truly accepted. By the end of the evening, Zira had not only shared her culture, but had also forged new connections. Laughter echoed through the room as everyone joined in a game that combined human and Thalaxian elements, breaking down the barriers that had once existed. In that moment, Zira realized that love and acceptance could conquer fear and misunderstanding. She felt grateful for Alex's unwavering support and knew that their journey was only just beginning. Together, they would continue to bridge the gap between their worlds, one shared experience at a time. As the weeks passed after the successful gathering, Zira felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had finally connected with Alex's friends, and their acceptance meant the world to her. Yet, even as joy filled her heart, she couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was at stake. She had made strides in her relationship with Alex. The looming shadow of her family's expectations remained, casting doubt on their future together. One evening, as they walked through a quiet park, the golden light of the setting sun painted the sky with vibrant hues. Zira admired the beauty around her, but her heart felt heavy. "Alex," she began hesitantly, "I've been thinking a lot about my family. They still don't know about us, and I fear how they will react." Alex glanced at her, concern etching his features. "I understand. It's a big step for you, and I want you to feel comfortable. But I'm here for you, no matter what," he replied, his voice warm and reassuring. "I appreciate that," Zira said softly, her eyes downcast. "But my family values tradition above all else. They may see our relationship as a betrayal. I don't want to disappoint them, but I also don't want to hide who I am." Alex took a deep breath, knowing how much this weighed on her. "You shouldn't have to choose between us and your family. Love is about acceptance, and I believe they will come to understand." Zira looked up, searching his eyes for reassurance. "Do you really think so?" "I know so," Alex replied firmly. "You are brave for exploring a different world, and your family might surprise you. They may not understand at first, but love is powerful. It can change hearts." Zira nodded, but doubt lingered. "What if they don't accept me? What if they see me as an outsider?" "Then we'll face it together," Alex said, determination shining in his eyes. "You are not alone in this. We'll figure it out as we go." Despite his words, Zira felt a knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. She longed for her family's approval, but was torn between her love for Alex and her loyalty to her heritage. The internal conflict weighed heavily on her heart. Later that week, Zira received a message from her family. They wanted to video call her, and a surge of dread filled her. She knew they would ask about her time on Earth, and the thought of revealing her relationship with Alex made her stomach churn. The day of the call arrived. Zira sat nervously in her apartment, her heart racing. She took a deep breath and connected with her family. The screen flickered to life, revealing her parents and her younger sister Lyra, smiling at her. "Zira, it's so good to see you," her mother exclaimed, her voice warm and familiar, as they exchanged greetings. Zira felt the weight of her secret pressing down on her. Her parents began asking about her experiences on Earth. She shared stories of her adventures, careful to leave out the most important part of her life, Alex. But as the conversation continued, Zira's heart ached. She wanted to tell them about the love she had found, the happiness that filled her days, but fear held her back. Finally, her father leaned forward, concern etched on his face. "Zira, you seem different. Are you happy there? Do you feel safe?" "Yes, I'm happy," she replied, her voice steady, despite the turmoil inside. "I've made friends and learned so much." Her mother smiled, but Zira could see the worry in her eyes. "We just want what's best for you, dear. You know that, right?" "I know," Zira said softly. "I appreciate your concern." As the call continued, she felt increasingly trapped between her love for Alex and her family's expectations. Finally, she knew she had to take a leap of faith. "I need to tell you something important," she said, her voice trembling. Her family's expressions shifted to curiosity, and Zira took a deep breath. "I've met someone special on Earth. His name is Alex, and he is human." A heavy silence fell over the call.
House.
Zira's heart raced as she waited for their reaction. Her mother's smile faded, replaced by a look of shock. "A human?" her father asked, his voice stern. "Zira, you know our traditions. This is not how we do things." "I know it's different," Zira pleaded, her voice breaking. But I love him. He makes me happy, and he respects my culture." I want you to understand," her parents exchanged worried glances, and Zira's heart sank. "You must return home," her father said firmly. "You cannot pursue this relationship. It is not right." Tears filled. The tension in Zira's heart was palpable as she ended the video call with her family. Their disapproval weighed heavily on her, and she felt an ache deep within. She had hoped that sharing her love for Alex would lead to understanding, but instead, it had driven a wedge between her and her family. Disappointment and fear clouded her thoughts as she sat alone in her apartment. Staring out the window at the bustling world outside, Alex sensed something was wrong when Zira met him later that evening. As they walked through the park, he noticed the sadness in her eyes. "What happened?" he asked gently, taking her hand. "You seem distant." Zira paused, searching for the right words. "I told my family about us," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "They didn't react well. They want me to come home and end things." Alex's heart sank at her words. "I'm so sorry, Zira," he said, pulling her closer. "You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be with someone you love." "I don't know what to do," Zira replied, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I love you, but I also love my family. I don't want to disappoint them, but I can't imagine my life without you." Alex wiped her tears gently with his thumb. "You shouldn't have to choose between us. Love shouldn't force you into a corner. We can face this together." Zira looked into Alex's eyes, searching for hope. "But how? They are my family, and they hold so much power over my choices. I don't want to hurt them, but I don't want to lose you either. We can show them how strong our love is," Alex suggested, determination in his voice. "Let's invite them to Earth. They can meet me, see our life together, and understand that love knows no boundaries. It can bridge the gap between our worlds." Zira's heart swelled with a mix of hope and fear. "You really think they will come?" "I believe they will," Alex smiled reassuringly, "if they see how happy you are with me. It may change their minds." With newfound determination, Zira nodded. "Okay, let's do it." Over the next few days, they worked tirelessly to prepare for the visit. Zira reached out to her family, inviting them to come to Earth and meet Alex. To her surprise, they agreed, albeit reluctantly. "We will come, but only to see if this is truly what you want," her father had replied, his tone still stern. The day of their arrival was filled with nervous anticipation. Zira and Alex waited at the airport, their hands intertwined. "No matter what happens, we'll face it together," Alex said, squeezing her hand. When her family stepped off the shuttle, Zira's heart raced. Her mother looked around, taking in the sights, while her father's expression remained serious. "This is Earth?" her mother asked, her voice filled with wonder. "Yes, and I can't wait to show you around," Zira replied, trying to keep her excitement alive as they drove through the city. Zira pointed out the places that had become special to her parks. Cafes, and even the botanical gardens where she had first felt the warmth of Alex's friendship. Her family listened, but their expressions remained guarded. That evening, they gathered at Zira's apartment for dinner, which Alex had prepared with care. As they sat around the table, Zira felt the tension in the room. She could sense her family's skepticism, and she knew they were scrutinizing Alex's every move. After a few moments of awkward silence, Zira decided to break the ice. "Alex made my favorite dish peanut butter and jelly sandwiches," she said, smiling at her family. "You should try them." Her family exchanged uncertain glances, but took small bites. To Zira's surprise, they seemed to enjoy it. "This is interesting," her father admitted, trying to mask his surprise. As the conversation flowed, Zira began to share stories about her time on Earth, emphasizing how Alex had helped her adapt and understand human customs. She spoke of the acceptance she had found among his friends and how they had embraced her as one of their own. Alex chimed in, sharing his own experiences of learning about Thalaxia, highlighting the beauty of their culture. "Zira has taught me so much about her people," he said earnestly. I have a deep respect for her traditions, and I'll always support her. Zira watched as her family listened, their expressions softening slightly. The more Alex shared, the more they began to see the love and respect that defined their relationship. After dinner, Zira's mother turned to her, her eyes filled with emotion. "You've changed, Zira. I see how happy you are. Maybe this isn't what we expected. But love is about understanding," Zira finished, her heart racing. "I want you to accept me for who I am, and that includes Alex." Her father remained silent, but Zira felt a shift in his demeanor. He glanced at Alex, who met his gaze with sincerity. "I care for Zira deeply," Alex said. "I want to build a future with her, one that honors both our worlds." The air was thick with emotion as Zira's family absorbed his words. Finally, her father spoke, his voice softer. "If you are truly happy, Zira, then we will try to understand this relationship." Tears filled Zira's eyes as hope surged within her. "Thank you," she whispered, her heart overflowing with gratitude. In that moment, a new dawn began for Zira and Alex. They realized that while the journey ahead would still hold challenges, their love had already begun to bridge the divide between their worlds. Together, they would face whatever came next, hand in hand, hearts united.